So, lads, in today's video, we are going to be talking about Paige Bueckers and whether or not Paige Bueckers is guaranteed to be the #1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. I think people just think it's a formality, and I think in a lot of cases it is, but we got to talk a little bit about Paige and whether or not Dallas should make that choice, or whether or not Dallas should just say, you know what, screw this, let's just trade down one spot. Because we can be honest here, Paige Bueckers has not gotten any better in 4 years. I get it. Look, injuries, yes, there are excuses. And again, not all excuses you can just say are saying it's just making excuses. Because the reality situation is an ACL tear is rough. Some players never come back properly from an ACL tear. But yeah, we've looked at Olivia Miles coming back from a similar injury, and she's come back even better. And for me, I don't know if it's a guarantee. I don't think people are like, oh, Paige Bueckers is 3rd in Player of the Year. Based on what? And it's like, oh yeah, Juju's 2nd, it's Hannah Dalgo 1st. Lauren Betts is Player of the Year right now. I'm sorry, Lauren Betts is Player of the Year. Flaw J. Johnson is higher than Paige Bueckers in Player of the Year. Sedona Prince is higher than Paige Bueckers, for God's sake. When we're talking about Paige, we've got to look at what Dallas need. And the best thing is Dallas needs a point guard, so they're going to take Paige Bueckers, who has not played point guard since her freshman year. And she didn't even play that much point guard there in that year. For me, I find it really tough to pass on Olivia Miles. If we're purely just going basketball ability, Olivia Miles is playing for a Notre Dame team who are better than UConn, who are better than USC. Yes, Notre Dame had a loss to TCU. Yes, Notre Dame have had a couple of losses. So they have no depth. UConn can at least bring players off the bench. USC can at least bring players off the bench. Notre Dame literally don't even have... I'm going to make a video on it tomorrow. They are literally holding open trials to fill roster spots. They're not even sure if they have enough players in the college to field a team. But Olivia Miles on this season, she's shooting 47% from 3. Look, that's going to come back down to earth. If she can even be a 35% three-point shooter. I've said it, and I'm like... When people are like, Olivia Miles, Chicago. My logic was, if Olivia Miles shoots the ball better than 32%, she's going 2nd. If she shoots 22% like she had in other years, she's not going 3rd. I was like, the only way she would fit with Chicago is if she can shoot. And if she can shoot, she's not dropping below 2. Because everyone was talking about Kiki Iriafen as the guaranteed 2nd. If Kiki Iriafen goes 2nd in the WNBA draft to a team who doesn't need a power forward, I would genuinely be... That GM needs to be fired on the spot if you take Kiki Iriafen 2nd. I'm sorry, I don't think Kiki Iriafen's in the best 15, 20 players in college this year. She was not one of the top 3 players on the court last night. Let alone a top 3 draft pick. She wasn't even close to being as good as Sarah Strong, who's a freshman. And I get it, Sarah Strong is a good freshman, but Kiki Iriafen is not. She's pulled a Hailey Van Lith. Unlike Hailey Van Lith, she's not going to fall out of the draft prospect. Hailey Van Lith's worked her way back up to being a 2nd round pick. And there's no way Kiki Iriafen drops out of the 1st round. But she's pulling a Hailey Van Lith, just going somewhere where it's you know what, this gives me a chance of winning. You actually have no chance of winning. Let's be real. USC are not winning anything. UConn blew that game yesterday. They only started really playing when they went down 18. And look, if they played 100 times, UConn win 80. We can be honest here. UConn are the better team. Yesterday, USC were better on the day. In general, UConn are player for player. UConn are better. And if they matched up in the tournament, I'd be shocked if USC wins it. And again, you got AZ Foot coming back if you're UConn as well. But Olivia Miles is the pass. She is the passer. She's playing with Hannah Hidalgo, so she'll be able to play with Enrique. And I'm not gonna lie when I say this right now. I'm not sure Paige Bueckers will have a better rookie season. Will have a better season next year than JC Sheldon. But she relies way too much on the backdoor cut. She relies so much on it. And I just don't think she's quick enough to be able to get that backdoor cut quite as easily in the W. And I think the difference is that she's being denied. She can get that backdoor cut because she's being denied, and she has Sarah Strong to make that pass a lot of the time. And there's the UConn system. I think she has become a system player on a team, going to a team at number 1 who don't play a system. Dallas wings, when you've got Satu and you've got Arike in your team, your job is either be good enough that one of those players and Dallas feel confident enough to trade Satu. You've either got, like, if you're Paige, you've either got to be good enough that Dallas feel confident enough to trade Satu, or you have got to be good enough that Arike defers to you. Because in fairness to Arike, like, I think she's a generational shot chucker. But we've also seen there are situations Arike's okay with deferring. We saw it a little bit when Odyssey Sims was there. When Odyssey Sims was there, we saw more so than ever Arike deferring to somebody else for the first time in quite a while. So Paige has got to be that level good. Or you can be an Olivia Miles and you can set up to play. You can get Arike the ball. You can get the ball into Arike's hands. You can get the ball into Satu's hands. You can hit an open jump shot and you can not really get in the way. And honestly, at this point in time, if her name was not Paige Bueckers, if these were just, as I've always said, if these were green aliens from the planet Dagobah, if every single player looked the same, who am I taking with the number 1 pick? Based on basketball, team need, everything, I'm taking Paige Bueckers. I'm still taking Paige Bueckers. But it's like, this is not, I don't think this is a formality anymore. I genuinely, everyone's just saying, oh, they've won the draft, talking about Paige going to Dallas. Man, Paige might still end up in LA for all we know. There's no way she drops below 2. I think this is a draft where, I'm not joking when I say this, 3 through 17 might be equally as good as each other. Like, I'm just trying to think who's around 17. Around 17 is like, what's her name? Georgia Amore, maybe. Maybe she's a little bit higher. Haley Van Lith. Maybe Sedona Prince falls to there. Who else? Sanaya Rivers. Those type of players. Cheyenne Sellers. Those second rounders. There is a non-zero chance that one of those players is better than whoever the hell gets drafted 3rd. It's a mad draft. I think, and I'm not joking when I say this, if, let's just say, Paige Bueckers, every single player from last year's W draft did their 5th year. I'm not joking. The draft would look Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Paige Bueckers. Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso, Paige Bueckers. If they all went back for a 5th year. Like, she is lucky she's not in a top-heavy draft. She's in a deep draft, but a real not top-heavy. But I still don't think it's a guarantee she goes number 1, which would have been crazy even as far as, like, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Because she just, I don't see how what she does, like, I don't see how what she does is going to translate to WNBA level. Like, I think she's a player. I think she can be the 4th best player on a really good team. But, like, do you waste the number 1 pick on somebody who might be a 4th best player on a really good team at the WNBA? Who has a aggression problem? I don't know if you do. No matter how skilled she is, I don't know. We've seen it with Ben Simmons. Obviously, I'm not calling her Ben Simmons. But we've seen it with Ben Simmons when some players just mentally don't have it in them to be aggressive, don't have it in them to... Like, Ben Simmons worked. When they just don't have it in them to be that guy. Professional sport is cutthroat. And I don't know if Paige is. I really don't. Anyway, I'll still probably take Paige at number 1 right now. But we're now at the stage where I don't think it's a guarantee Paige goes number 1. I think it's a high likelihood. I don't think it's a guarantee. But anyway, I'll see you guys.